Well, my name is Oscar. I go by Ostrich Eyes here, or Ostrich. I work here at the Artistry Realm. I'm one of the 20 artists that make it happen here, man. Right now, everyone here has kind of realism as a base. We'll kind of do lettering, realism, and me personally, I prefer to do more illustrative work where you're not necessarily just taking something from a photo. I like to draw my stuff out if I can. So I would define my style as like gothic illustrative, I guess. Or at least that's where I want my work to push more towards in the future. Art, man, well, you know me. You remember me in high school, dude. It was just one of those things you were always told you were good at, so I never stopped doing it. Just kept going, and well, I never thought I'll, first of all, do something like this. I always thought tattoos were too permanent when I first started. I think every artist you meet is going to have their own background, so they you know, for me personally, I love bringing in any references to Mexican culture, because that's where I'm Mexican. So that, and I'm also from India. I was raised here in India, so there's a traditional aspect as well as there's more of my background where I mainly come from cameras, drawing, and not necessarily tattooing, because I'm still pretty new to tattooing, but I try to pull from my other hobbies like shooting video and photos and try to take those other tools and try to apply it to my tattooing. That's really where I think I'm a little more unique in that sense. If someone comes to me with a design, I try to look mainly for the things I'm good at. Floral, I'm good at ornamental, I like doing realism, faces, portraits, that kind of thing. If I feel like the client is leaning more towards color, traditional, I might pass on that. But usually when they get in here, the first thing I ask is, you know, what they plan to do in the future for their sleeve. Are they going more for patchwork? Are they going for a full sleeve look? From there, we try to look at reference photos and see like if they have any styles that they prefer to work with. Again, I am leaning more towards realism or illustrative. Visuals are a good way to connect between the artist and the client, you know. That way I know what they have for expectations from me. I normally don't design right in front of my client. It's something I like to stand to the side and just relax and kind of get in the meditative state, you know, for 1 to 2 hours, just put them together, if not more, depending on how big the project is. I like to get the design and all that good stuff out the way before in a consultation, and then afterwards, when they come in for the tattoo and the appointment, we have a stencil ready to go, and we use up every hour we can for the tattoo, you know. But so far, almost every artist I've met has been, if anything, willing to work with you as a collaborator. They're willing to teach you new things, you know. I haven't really seen that many guys out here that are like, don't look at this because I don't want to teach you the gatekeeping. So there's always the aspect of we all grow here as a collective, you know. We're all learning from each other, and that's what's exciting about it. It's like you never know everything 100%, you know. There's always some trick out there that someone knows, and if they're more than willing to share it, you know, that's potential for you to grow as an artist as well. So I think ever since I started tattooing, my drawings have really taken off a lot more. My style has also changed, just because there's certain things that you consider with tattooing differently to what you consider with drawing. For example, contrast. You use a lot more black in your designs in order for them to look good in the future on your skin. Whereas before I was a lot more light-handed with my drawings, you know, a lot softer. But for tattoos, that doesn't really work. At least you need some contrast in there to make a tattoo hold. And I think that's the biggest thing that's changed my art. But it's all these little things that just add up, and it makes you excited to see what you'll be at in the next 10, 15, 20 years, you know. So for me, my brain is always going. So for example, if I'm drawing something, I'm not necessarily tracing. I'll be sketching it as I'm seeing something in front of me. So my brain is constantly comparing angles, trying to get proportions right, shading, seeing the big picture, and you know, it's just constantly firing. But it's also like making decisions, you know, like, oh, do I make this line straight? Do I make this curve? How do I add more calligraphy to this so it's not as static of a pose, you know, that I'm trying to draw? After I get the tough part out of the way, you know, and measuring, making sure the composition's in there, and then I can start to kind of relax and get into that meditative state, trying to get a shade, you know, a gradient, trying to build a half tone on skin, or that, you know, on the portrait I'm doing. What starts as a really static eventually starts to flow and flow and flow, and that's how I built the drawing, at least. Like, things I'm considering now is how my tattoos heal. You know, am I adding enough contrast, enough black in my tattoos to make them look good in the future? 4 years down the line on my client, you know, there's different factors now at play. Like, how's the detail? Is there too much detail on this? How do I simplify some of the shapes? How do I add more black to give some pop to this face that I'm tattooing, you know? And also the social media aspect, you know, tattooing, promoting yourself. You're pretty much out and about. Like, yeah, I have a teams here that I can collaborate with and learn from, but at the end of the day, your business is your business. So you got to make sure that you're promoting yourself just as much as any entrepreneur does. You know, like, you're trying to sell yourself, trying to sell your art. You still have bills to pay. So, yeah, it's that part of it as well. The social media. I usually start at 1 p.m. here tattooing. We usually take like a lunch break in between, but by the time we're all out of here, it's usually late, like 9, 10. I've even seen some guys 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock, you know, leave before they're actually finished. So we pull marathons. We're constantly focusing for a long time, and that took me a while to get used to. Just build up endurance to withstand longer sessions, you know. I kind of want to build a style, and I want to build a clientele so that people come to me for my art, you know, not just another Pinterest tattoo that I'm used to doing. So I'm trying to put my style out there in the tattoo, on skin. So I would love to really push more of that gothic illustrative stuff, more ornamental, as opposed to what I'm doing now, which is just mainly just compositing different images from Pinterest. Whereas I feel like it's just a lot funner to draw it out yourself and try to, something that's yours is now on someone's skin, you know? I think that would be the best, that would be my peak right there. Well, I go by Ostrich Eyes on Instagram, Eyes with a Z. You can find me there, and you can shoot me a DM if you're interested. If you want to check out my work and just see what I'm doing, that's where I post all my tattoos, and that's where you can also book with me. If not, you can also pay me a visit here at the Artistry Realm. I don't ever intend on leaving here anytime soon, so I'm here Monday through Saturday, excluding Thursdays. But if you ever want to come visit me, just stop in. We can talk about what your next tattoo is.